Hello, it's good to see you. I'm Autumn. Welcome back. 2024 is coming to an end, so this is a perfect time to talk beauty favorites of the year. All the products that launched that I love, that I use every day, or reach for often. I'm very much a product junkie. I really like to try a lot of new things. There are some things that came out last year that I had just not given a chance before that I fell in love with this year. There are other products that launched this year that really surprised me. So I'm really excited to go category by category and chat about some of my favorites. And I'm really curious to know if they are your favorites too. So like, subscribe. Let's get the conversation going in the comments. To start with skincare, this year was pretty much dominated by Rhode Beauty for me. My entire skincare routine, short for a couple of serums, is exclusively Rhode. Hailey has just managed to really create a brand and products that are good skincare. They're not scented. They aren't kind of fluff. It doesn't feel like a cash grab or like any sort of shallowness to it. It just feels like really thoughtful, really good ingredient-based skincare. And my skin has been better for it. My skin's never been more hydrated. It's never been more glowy. I don't think I've ever gotten more compliments on it. I still obviously get hormonal acne, but overall I am in such a better place with my skin closing out this year than last year. So good. So let's get into the products. So after a oil cleanser, which I haven't found like the holy grail perfect one yet, I fear it might be the Dermalogica Pre-Cleanse because my sister got her esthetician license this year. And she turned me on to the Dermalogica Pre-Cleanse. I don't have that kind of money to be spending all those coins on Dermalogica Pre-Cleanse. After I do my oil cleanse, I go in with the Pineapple Refresh. One thing I want to also say about Rhode is the price point is so good for the amount of product you actually get. This is 150 mils or 5 fluid ounces, and baby, she's filled to the top. Lily Rosed Up, buttoned to the top. Let me tell you, you're getting such a great price per ounce. Guys, I'm not even getting paid by them. These are just genuinely that good. The lather on this is incredible. There's kind of a subtle, really refreshing pineapple fragrance. I dare to even call it like legitimate fragrance. It kind of just has like, I think maybe the pineapple enzymes do give it that kind of like refreshing twang to it, but it's not offensive at all. You truly only need about this much and feel so clean but not stripped. Then glazing milk. I saw somewhere on, I think I saw on like TikTok, somebody said that they firmly believed that every night when they went to sleep, Miss Hailey Bieber herself came into her room and refilled her glazing milk because it never seems to run out. That is the gosh darn truth. And I use this every day. Go check my TikTok. Almost all of my makeup tutorials start with this. It is so hydrating. It's truly like, it'd be nuts to say it's like getting a tall glass of milk because, girl, have you ever tried chugging a glass of milk lately? Because I have. We really sat down as children, plate full of spaghetti, big old fat glass of milk. But this is like a tall drink of water for the skin. Consistency is just unmatched when it comes to other hydrating milky essences. It's a tad bit thicker, which means it's more nourishing. Somebody asked me on TikTok if it smelled like wet paint because that's what they heard. Do not agree with that. It's got magnesium, I think copper peptides, and maybe some zinc in it. I think that might be kind of what you smell. It just smells really clinical in like the best way. It smells like something a dermatologist would prescribe to you. So it feels like white coat laboratory clean. It smells clean. I have been doing the glazing milk little makeup hack and it has been so beautiful. But this is just such a multi-purpose, multi-function, milky ceramide kind of facial essence. I don't think my skin would have looked as good in 2024 without incorporating this into my skincare routine. I would say one of the biggest launches of the year is the barrier butter. It's become very divisive online. I see a lot of discourse on TikTok about it breaking a lot of people out, giving people rashes. They're just having pretty crazy allergic reactions to some of the emollients, I believe. But for me, it has just completely changed my skin for the better. It was really smart of Hailey to release this product right before the late fall, early winter months, because we could explore it early and incorporate it into our routines in time for this kind of crazy weather change that we're having. I don't know what the weather's like where you are, but for me, some days I wake up and I go to work and it's 32 degrees or like 34 is the high, and it's frosty and it's icy, and then days like today it's like almost 50 degrees. It's all over the place, but this is so established in my routine that my skin is ready. At a moment's notice of a weather change, my skin is ready. I use this on my face, on my elbows. I've used this on like my heels before. It's great on the hands. Such a beautiful formula. It's beautiful under makeup, and it will honestly be, on most days, it will be the last kind of skincare step before I go into my makeup. With that, let's jump into the makeup portion. This year was the year where I kind of, without even thinking about it, transitioned from using traditional primers as my first step of makeup and into using illuminating gels, or like glowy illuminating products. And two clear favorites emerged. One I found at the beginning of the year, which is the Saie Glowy Super Gel. This is nothing new for this year. This is one of Saie's hero products. It was something I finally pulled the trigger on and just decided to try this year. And oh my gosh, I had one little learning curve my very first time using it. This was actually my first bottle, Star Glow, where I did not layer my makeup properly, and so this pilled on me. But once I adjusted, goes well with it underneath. Oh my gosh, this was just beautiful. It's so gorgeous on its own. Like when I'm not wanting to wear any true complexion products, I'm just wanting to literally sprint out of the house for some reason and just look really hydrated and glowy, I'll use this as like my last step for skincare. But under makeup, oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. This is one I've been using now, which is the shade Rose Glow. Because it's a gel, it's so thin when you finally blend it all in. It's so lightweight, it's cooling, but it just leaves, here's nothing, and there's with like Rose Glow on it. It just leaves such a beautiful pearly finish to the skin. Very recently though, I discovered Live Tinted's Hue Glow. I became a diamond member with Ulta and I was able to get this for free. So I'm like, yeah, of course I'm going to try this out. Where has this been? It's in the shade Golden Hour, and you can use it on your face and your body, and it is thicker than the Saie Glowy Super Gel. Not a gel at all, but rather it is so moisturizing. That's what it prioritizes. Kind of acts as like a thinner moisturizer. Like you could skip moisturizer altogether and go straight into this, and oh my gosh, it's just, it leaves your skin looking so hydrated. Like this is giving I drink all my water. Saie Glowy Super Gel, and there is the kind of illumination of the Live Tinted Hue Glow. In the winter months, especially when moisturizing and hydration are paramount, this has become something I use every single day. When it comes to foundation, it's honestly so hard to even like remember or keep up with what has come out this year, just because I feel like this has just been such a thick, huge, juicy, just like crazy year that it's been hard to keep all of it in my brain. But some of my favorites that I have used a lot during 2024 and will continue to take with me into 2025 are much more skin tints or skin perfectors than they are full coverage, high impact, thick performance foundations. I say that, but all of these few that I'm going to share with you that are like truly my favorites of the year, performance on them is phenomenal. It's just insane. I think the innovation in the space of skin perfectors and skin tints, it's nothing like whenever like I, or probably you, were like in high school where it was like a BB cream that like would curdle on your face by the end of 8th hour. Now sheer light to medium coverage complexion products have just as much high performance payoff and longevity as like an Estee Lauder Double Wear. What a beautiful time to be alive, to be able to say that. The first foundation that I have absolutely adored during 2024 is the About Face Skin Focused Foundation, the Performer. I have shade L1 Neutral and then L1 Cool. I would say L1 Cool is much more my like genuine shade, but when I went to go repurchase it, this was out of stock, so I bought the more neutral color. Luckily, you can have a little bit of give because it's so thin. It's such a like light to medium coverage complexion product that it will kind of perform onto your skin, and you have a little bit of wiggle room in terms of if this is a little too light or a little bit of the perfect undertone. But both of these work on me beautifully. The coverage on this is insane. I turned so many of my friends onto this because they were looking for a more affordable foundation, which this is only $22, which I think is a great price point. The Doe Foot applicator is what turned a lot of my friends on to this foundation. You get a lot of use out of this for the volume of product that you have. A little goes such a long way, and it's almost like if the perfect light to medium coverage foundation met and had a baby with like a flawless filter, and this was that child. When I'm wanting to be more glam, this is the foundation that I reach for. It is beautiful. Take a shot every time I say something's beautiful. I picked this up completely on a whim. I went to Walgreens just to see what was poppin', as one does, and this was just like on sale. They had like a really good deal on it, so I picked it up in my like normal pale girl shade and then a shade for when I put some self tanner on. This is the number 7 Stay Perfect Stick Foundation. I normally am not a fan of stick foundations because they will expose every single pore that is on my face, every single little dry patch that I might have not gotten with moisturizer. That's what I feel like normal stick foundations do to me personally. But this one, oh my gosh, it is just so buttery. It feels like a high-end foundation. It is not heavy in the slightest. If you're wanting a high-end designer level of product quality for a drugstore price and accessibility, may I introduce you to number 7? Number 7, This Beautiful Human. It is so good. I mean, sometimes it's a gamble. Sometimes you're putting it all on green whenever you go into the beauty section of any store and you're like, I'm just gonna try this. I've never heard anything about it. I don't know anything about this product, but I'm just gonna try this and see what happens. That's a huge gamble, and sometimes it pays off. When it comes to true skin tints, the surprise favorite this year, one that I reach for again and again and again, and that always looks beautiful and never curdles on my skin, is actually the Kylie Cosmetics Skin Tint Blurring Elixir. This is such a beautiful foundation. I'm wearing it today. It's so light, it's so thin, and it's the way it sits on the skin, but the coverage is pretty good. I'm not gonna say that it will cover like all of your blemishes. You will need concealer for that, and evening out skin tone and perfecting the complexion and really adding a kind of blurring base. It is phenomenal performing and doing what it needs to do every single day. So love you, Kylie. You ate that. The concealer that has been my absolute favorite this year was another one where it was a total whim. I bought it with no preconceived notion. I just saw it and I was like, you know what? These are my colors. I'm gonna give it a try. Something within me said explore. And that was the MAC Studio Fix Conceal and Correct palette. This is in the light shade. Oh my goodness. I don't think I will need another concealer. The versatility that I'm able to achieve with this palette, it's got 4 concealer shades and 2 color correcting shades. Between the 6 of these colors, I can truly be an artist and color match a shade that is perfect to me. The coverage on these, it can be built up from a really sheer light coverage all the way to something very full, very max coverage. Spectacular. I got this for like $14 at Marshall's, but now I know that this is gonna be like my holy grail concealer. It's so good to have like one product with so many colors and so many possibilities and so much flexibility. It does not crease. It does not budge. I've worn this for like 12, 13 hour days, you know, where I'm stress sweating, where I'm legitimately sweating when I have like some oil production in the heat. It's It's just fantastic. When it comes to contours and bronzers, there are the ones that I've used the most this year, and then there are the ones that I love the most this year. And I'm going to tell you about the ones that I love the most, and surprisingly, they are both drugstore. The drugstore is an elevated space now, and the formulas are just that good. For creams, it's gonna have to be the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Bronzer and Contour. This is in the shade Fair Light. It goes such a long way. You literally only need like 2 dots in each of the places that you're looking to bronze or contour, and it will offer such beautiful color payoff. This shade for me is that beautiful in between. It's cool enough to be a contour, but it has a bit of pinky warmth in it. You'll see online people not talk down about this, but say that they don't like it because the coverage is too fierce. And I think the troubleshooting on that is using 3 times less than what you think you need. Don't do a long stripe. It's just like 2 to maybe 3, a whisper of a third dot, and that's all you need. So to set this, my favorite this year has been the NYX Buttermelt Bronzer. So the shade is like light to medium warm. I'm wearing it today. Again, this is something that is highly pigmented. It is so beautiful. I would say it's like the competition to the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. It smells just like that. It has that beautiful tropical cocoa butter scent. I turned some friends onto this, and a few of them did take it back because they said it was too pigmented, but again, you just need to barely dip into there so it will last you so long. I've had this since the beginning of the summer, probably since it first launched, even like right after it first launched. I've hit pan fiercely, but still have quite a bit. Like that little bit right there is gonna last me. The only caveat is I wish it had a mirror inside of the packaging. I do sometimes yearn to look inside of it for a close-up, but that's just a minor qualm to something as beautiful of a finish as this offers. She has emerged the favorite of this year and is definitely going into 2025. When it comes to blushes, I have so many of them. I am a whore for blush. I love blush so much. Bathe me in blush, douse me in blush. I am always wanting to try a new blush, but only 3 have emerged as like the favorites of the year that I would recommend to anyone, that I am taking with me into the new year and that I reach for every single day. The first one, another launch of the year, it's Rhode. It's Miss Hailey Bieber. It's the Pocket Blushes. I think it's crazy to think that this has only been around since the summertime. I feel like this blush has been around forever at this point. This one's in the shade Freckle. I'm excited to expand my personal repertoire of the Pocket Blushes. It's a beautiful hybrid of skincare and makeup. It's one of those things that if you're not like a makeup girl, this won't feel foreign on your skin. It'll still feel like skincare. Or if you are like a full beat makeup girl, this is also a beautiful blush for you because the pigmentation payoff is so spectacular. Another cream blush I love though, I don't hear enough good things about this brand and this particular product. It's the Simi Haze Beauty Solar Tint Blush Duo. This is in the shade Ember. So you have a balmy, more glowy cream blush, and then on the other side you have a more matte, moussey, I would almost call this a velvet consistency of a cream blush. So you can layer them together, use them separately, put this on top of this. It almost dries down to like a powder finish, like a cream to powder, and then this is truly that creamy glossy finish. Beautiful, especially in the summertime. This is like that perfect sunburnt color. A lot of people get scared by like a red blush like this. This offers that like blood rush into your cheeks post run. It mimics that color so beautifully. I think not enough people talk about this. The one powder blush that I would say is my favorite of this year is something that was my favorite last year and is nothing new. It's not a new product. It's not a recent launch. By God, is it my favorite. It is the Kylie Cosmetics Pressed Blush Powder in Winter Kissed. This is just like that perfect baby doll pink. I'm wearing a little bit on top of Freckle today. It just brings like a little bit of extra something to the face. Having like this kind of blue toned pink baby doll shade just adds like a little extra something to any sort of blush that I put underneath. My look is not kind of complete unless I have just like a dusting of Winter Kissed. She's been with me, she's staying with me. Kylie was in her bag and she blessed the world Winter Kissed. Lip products are a category that I would say excited me the most this year. Looking backwards, I think what emerged with lip products were just so amazing this year, and I found myself really excited to create new and interesting and fun lip combos. So it was a pursuit that I like got the most excited about. So for lip liners, my favorites this year were Makeup by Mario's Smoky Pink. I think that this is the perfect kind of cool toned pinky nude for anybody who is as fair as I am and kind of runs cool to neutral. It is just so beautiful. I have a little bit of lip stain on right now, but this is just, it's such a pretty shade. It kind of acts as like a contour to the lip, in my opinion. So anytime a liner just needs a little extra shadow to it or a little bit more definition, I will go in with Smoky Pink and it does the trick every time. If I had to look back on this year as a whole, beauty wise, I would say that this year was the year of the peel like lip liner stains, and Sachi Beauty dominated the space. I mean, they got Billie Eilish's seal of approval. Today I'm wearing the shade Mauve. I'm wearing shade 2, but I also have shade 3 Pinked and then shade 4 Hazel. It is such an innovative idea. I think that this is going to mark and timestamp kind of like 2024. It really does last all day. Hey guys, the rumors are true. They actually do last all day. You can really choose your own adventure when it comes to how intense the liner is. Like, you can pull it off pretty quickly once it dries if you want kind of like a more subdued stain, or you can leave it on for like 15 minutes if you want, even for like a super intense sort of stain. Personally, I'm not a fan or a big like frequent user of lipsticks. For me, the Vice comes with oils and glosses, and I think that this was an incredible year for like lip tints, lip oils, and lip glosses. So I have two particular formulas that rose to the top and that are my personal go-tos. Every single day, I either have one of these two brands on my lips. You can guarantee that. It is either the e.l.f. Glow Reviver lip oils. I have almost caught them all. My favorites, however, are Rose Envy, which is like the perfect pinky nude, and Jam Sesh. I also enjoy Honey Talks when I'm going for kind of like a chocolatey, kind of like real brown neutral vibe. This formula is spectacular. It's so comfortable on the lips. It's not sticky. I'll put a little bit of Jam Session on. It has a beautiful, huge doe foot applicator that you get a nice little deposit of product on, and they're just so comfortable on the lips. So moisturizing, so nourishing, not too oily, not, like I said, sticky at all. The shine is beautiful. I keep one of these in any bag. There's always one of these on hand. But if I'm not wearing the e.l.f. lip oils, believe and trust, I'm wearing a Rhode lip tint. My favorite shade, I would say, is Toast. It's something I reach for every day. It's kind of like my perfect shade. I can throw it on, no mirror, not have to worry. I know it's going to look beautiful. They're so hydrating on the lips. People do say that they get grainy. I've never experienced any grain with these, only greatness. The gorgeous like hint of color. Again, another release of the year was the Rhode lip tint in Cinnamon Roll. I use this sparingly because it's limited edition. Oh my god, the flavor is so beautiful. It's a sheer caramel with kind of like gold shimmers. It's just spectacular. I think if you have not tried the Rhode peptide lip tints yet, now is your sign to try at least one. I always have one of these in my bag. They are so gorgeous. I feel like everyone has them for a reason because they are truly so nourishing. I've not had dry lips. I think I'll round out the beauty favorites for this year with my favorite fragrances for this year. I think it was a great year for fragrances in general. A lot of amazing launches this year, but there are two brands whose new fragrances have really captivated me, and I wear, again, every single day. If I'm not wearing one, I'm wearing the other. The first are Glossier's two new You. This is Glossier Rev and this is Glossier Dew. This is more of that kind of Santal, woodsy, little masculine, still very spicy and sexy signature kind of you notes. And then this is the more gourmand buttercream, plum butter, that sweet, decadent, and sultry sexiness. This has been one I reach for the most, I would say. This would be kind of like that close second. They do pair beautifully together. I picked up this Pistachio Delight fragrance at Marshall's. It was $12. It was random. It was kind of sporadic. But Michelle Visage of RuPaul's Drag Race fame, who is also a perfume connoisseur on TikTok, said to never pass up a Marshall's or TJ Maxx fragrance if it smells good. It doesn't matter how kind of generic it looks. If it draws you in, if you are drawn by it, go for it. So I paired this with this. Oh my goodness. You smell like a gourmand dream. You smell so good. So fantastic. So right now, this has been my go-to. This has been my day-to-day. Then the other brand, if I'm not wearing the combo that I just showed you, is Miss Bella Hadid, and it's Orebella. What a launch. What a concept. I feel like this is so innovative in the space. I'm kind of naive to the fragrance kind of community. I'm a novice. I found this kind of like biphase formula to be really innovative in the prioritization of like essential oils and the holistic ritual of fragrance. Nightcap, I'm a gourmand girl. I'm a vanilla girl. I'm sorry, I am. Nightcap is my everything. You have to shake this up really well, but I will put this on like after a shower, after I've done like my body butters and my body oils. This will be like the final step to that process. So like shaking it up and spraying it, and then you really massage it in because it has like those oils in it. Oh my gosh, it smells like late night kind of like jazzy club, but there's like kind of vanilla creams but also spice happening. It's really just sensuous in the sweetest way. And then I also keep a travel size on me because I love it so much. And I love to pair it with Salted Muse. You can tell I barely have any Salted Muse left, which is their kind of interpretation of like the earthy, salty, woodsy, kind of Santali. It's so good. It's like walking on like a salty beach, like kind of just sitting in the sand with like some driftwood kind of to the side, but yet there's like lush greenery kind of where the shore ends. It's into like lush greens. I'm painting a picture. It's fantastic. It's phenomenal. And the thing about Orebella that I love so much is it's very evocative. Like the scent profiles that Bella and her team choose are evocative of like scent memory and kind of evoke a particular place. And I think like Replica is the only other kind of fragrance collection that is as evocative as kind of what Orebella's doing. Just an immediate favorite this year. It's something that I'm excited to take into next year, and I'm excited to see collection expands into next year. So that is it. That is my 2024 beauty favorites. This year has been such a beautiful, crazy, interesting year. I feel like I've grown and I've learned a lot. I feel like it's a year I've had a lot of clarity in. As much as my brain wants to think about like the things I wasn't able to accomplish this year, I look at all of the things that I have accomplished. I started a Substack, which you can catch all of my 2024 music favorites on, and a lot of other fun reads over there. That's kind of where I spill my brains out, is over on Substack, which I'll put the link in the description. I started that this year. I would have never thought at the beginning of the year that I was gonna kind of pick up writing again and start kind of expressing myself in that way. I'm excited in 2025 to like try to write a book. I'm excited to be more of a creative writer and dip my toes into fiction in a more real way. I would have never thought that I would start a YouTube channel. That's like a teenage dream that like 13-14-year-old me wanted to do and wished that she could have done, but didn't like have the courage to do. So now for it to be something that like I'm not scared of at all, but I'm just excited to do, is like a huge victory for this year. I'm so excited to continue to like grow and expand this community and like bring the community that I'm building over on TikTok over here as well, and to just see where the power and the energy of that community can take me personally, but also how it can positively affect and where it can take all of you amazing people. It's been a year. And so to just look at it through the lens of kind of like beauty, it's always really special. I love kind of reflecting, but I also love manifesting and planning and looking forward. So I'm really excited about next year and what next year brings. I hope that this year was kind to you. If it wasn't, I hope this new year will be. I thank you so much for hanging out and chatting about this. Let me know what your favorites were of this year. Follow me on Substack, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. All the links are going to be below. Thank you. Thank you. Love you. And I'll talk to you very soon.